Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, before I begin with this lesson, I want to start it off by giving all the glory and infinite praises to the true and the only living powers, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Akaha Kadash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles who got millstone. Peace and blessings be to the Akim now pushing this word in truth and sincerity. Shalom and Yahweh Shema Shah Brakathon. So I'm entitled this lesson, Tell Your Children and Let Your Children Tell Their Children. Alright, and where I got the title of this lesson from is Joel 1 and 3. Alright, and I'm gonna grab it here in a second. But basically what inspired me to do this lesson and get this lesson that title is this picture that I got pulled up here on TikTok. And as y'all see, it says same flood story mentioned in different ancient texts. So you got the Hinduism, you know what I mean? You got Christianity, of course, right? Buddhist, and also ancient Mesopotamia, and there's many other different, cultures that have the same flood story, right? And it's deep when you think about it, because it's a lot of people that don't really believe that the flood existed when, the earth itself is a monument to let you know that the flood actually took place. All right, and I remember like a couple months ago when I was at a camp, it was this little weak ass Cushite, dude that came up and, he basically, didn't believe in the scriptures at all, right? Which is, I'm not surprised because, bro's a heathen. All right. But basically, he's stuck on Esau's, pseudoscience. He believes in evolution, and all that crazy shit, right? And his main argument was that science basically debunks, the Bible, right? Which is, bro doesn't know what he's talking about, because science basically just means to know, right? And what Esau does is he basically just pushes out a whole bunch of bullshit and comes up with his own basic solutions to solve the question, like the Big Bang Theory. Ain't no evidence of that shit ever taking place, but here it is, people still fall for it. People evolving from monkeys. That's what Esau say. If that's the case, if we all evolved from monkeys, why the hell is the monkey still here? You know what I'm saying? Was there something wrong with their genetics, so they just stayed like how they was back in the ancient world? No, man. It's because that's all bullshit. That's a part of Esau's deception, and Esau got most of the people, man. All right, but it's no coincidence to why all cultures have the same story of the flood, man. You know what I'm saying? That's actually biblical, because all nations that you see today descend from Noah's sons, man. Shem, Ham, and Japheth. All right? And what the Lord had basically did, like how he always told our forefathers, you know what I'm saying? Hey, pass this story down to your generations so they can know how powerful I am. You know what I'm saying? The Lord did it with the ancient Egyptians, you know what I'm saying? And the many other, scenarios, man. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with the flood. Something that took place and something that was as powerful and destructive as that, there was a reason on why Yahweh Shema Shah told Shem, Ham, and Japheth to pass, this story down to your generations so they can keep passing along, because the Lord ain't want the earth to be as wicked as it was back then. Because that was the whole reason why Yahweh Shema Shah had flooded the earth in the first place, because the shit was wicked. So how much more now? All right, so this is why all cultures have, the story of the flood, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, this goes back thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. You know what I'm saying? And like that point that I was proving, I actually, uploaded a few TikToks, based on this, on proving that the flood actually took place. And one of those things is look at the mountains. You know what I mean? The mountains, they have, sea animal fossils on them, that's 6,000 feet, above sea level, man. So how the fuck did, clamshells and, squid fossils get up there, man? They just crawled up there on dry land? Hell no. You know what I'm saying? That's because the sea level had rose during the time of the flood. And that's why also the mountains is all jagged and shit. They all rough because of what you call erosion, or what Esau calls erosion. And even look at the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon is a proof itself that the flood actually took place. You know what I mean? It's all broken up. You know what I'm saying? The scripture speaks about how the Lord's going to cause the fountains of the earth to spring up. That's why it's all broken up, and that's why you see multiple layers of different, minerals and shit. You know what I'm saying? Clay, you know what I mean? You have, what is that shit called? Limestone. many other different minerals stacked on top of each other because of all that, mixture. And then also, they find a whole lot of dinosaur fossils over there. You know what I mean? And most of them that they find, they be stacked on top of each other. Oh, and that's another thing. Esau say that the dinosaurs had, got burnt up, by asteroids or meteorites or whatever you want to call them. But the last time I checked, a fire burns shit to a crisp until it's dust, till it's no longer remaining, man. So if that's the case, why are we still finding dinosaur fossils, man? That's because they was actually destroyed in the time of the flood, man. All right, but I want to go ahead and grab a few scriptures and I'm going to close it out. So this is Salaki, the book of Joel 1. And I'm going to start at verse 3, get straight to the point. It says, tell ye your children of it, and let your children tell their children, and their children another generation. Right? And the Lord didn't just tell, Joel about this, or tell Joel just to do this. He told, Moses to do it. You know what I mean? And through the Spirit, he told Shem, Ham, and Japheth to do it. You know what I'm saying? This is also why we have the scriptures today. You know what I mean? Because the Lord, he also told them to write these things in a book, right? So that we will basically, have the understanding, and know what's to be. All right? As you read in Romans 15:4, all things that were written aforetime were written for our learning. And back then, a lot of things were spoken verbally, but the Lord had them written down for a particular purpose, man. Right? So that, it will stay here forever. And this is why we got the Bible, man. All right? So I want to grab this real quick in the book of Exodus 10 and verse 1. And it says, and the Lord said unto Moses, because like how I mentioned, any, catastrophic event, destruction that the Lord had caused, the Lord had told, his servants or his people to pass this story down to your generations for a reason. So that you know how powerful he is, that he is the one and the true and only living God, and so that you will fear him, man. Because hearing about the flood, a lot of people just don't know how strong water is, man. You know what I mean? Another thing, too, to prove that the flood actually took place and that the scriptures is real. Shit, after a rain, guess what pop up in the sky? A rainbow. Every single time, it never failed. You know what I mean? That shows you that the scriptures reign supreme, because every time I see it rain, a rainbow pop up, and that joint increased my faith. Because how the hell, and a rainbow, that's powerful itself. You know what I mean? Them lights come out of nowhere. You don't even know where them lights come from. Esau don't even know it, man. You know what I mean? But the Heavenly Father still has that rainbow popping up in the sky every time it rains to let you know that, he's still standing on his word. He's still keeping that covenant he made with all flesh. So how much more the covenant he going to keep with our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? All right? But I'm going to read this real quick. It says, and the Lord said unto Moses, go in unto Pharaoh, for I have hardened his heart and the heart of his servants, that I might show these my signs before him, and that thou mayest tell in the ears of thy son and of thy son's son, basically passing it down to his generations, what things I have wrought in Egypt, and my signs which I have done among them, that ye may know how that I am the Lord. Right? And see, the Lord, he even did it with Moses. Told Moses, these things that I'm finna do to Pharaoh, because I'm hard, I'm basically putting his mind to be stubborn and be hard-minded for a reason, because I'm getting ready to show these signs so that you can pass these things down to my people so they can know how powerful I am. It's the same thing going back to the time of the flood, and this is why we still catch wind, of stories of the flood. Primarily through the scriptures, right? Through the Holy Bible, right? But even the other nations, have stories, of the flood, man. All right? Just showing you how powerful the Lord is. And a lot of people call this shit a myth and all that. A myth is only, in a particular culture, like a chupacabra. That's heavy into, Issachrite culture. You don't hear that shit in Hindus and, Ishmael culture. They don't talk about the damn chupacabra, right? That's what a myth is. A myth is a particular, story, whatever you want to call it, that a particular culture has, man. All right? So, Shalaki. The next one I'm going to grab is the book of Psalm 78 and 3. And I'm going to go ahead and close it out, man. All right, Psalm 78 and 3. And it says, damn, is it this one? Damn. Salaki. Khan. All right, Psalm 78 and 3. Matter of fact, I started Khan 3. It says, matter of fact, I might as well start at one that says, give ear, O my people, to my law. Incline your ears to the words of my mouth. I will open my mouth in a parable. I will utter dark sayings of old, which we have heard and known, and our fathers have told us. We will hide them not from their children, showing to the generation to come the praises of the Lord and His strength and His wonderful works that He hath done. Right, and this is ultimately, talking about, the law, statutes, commandments, but you can also apply this, to, events that the Lord had made happen, showing His power. All right, so, with that being said, that's pretty much all I had to bring out, just something, real quick I wanted to do through the Spirit. All right, because these things, have been passed down throughout different cultures, because this goes way back to Shem, Ham, and Japheth, man. All right, the Lord had them live for a reason, all right, so they could pass these stories down, throughout their generations, man. All right, just like how, your great-grandpops, he may keep a story alive that he heard, back when he was a younger. It's no different. All right, but, with that being said, I'm going to close it out, man. Call Allah Yahweh Shema Shah, Shema Kakadas, Shalom, and the Bible Bar.